So in these mindfulness drills, we're going to do another one for your hip mobility. You can think of stretching as dynamic stretching, static stretching. There's also things called flossing, right? So if you think of your joints, you're kind of moving your joints in different motions to kind of activate or stimulate all the little angles in that joint. So for your hips, what we're going to do is you're going to put your foot onto the wall. And the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to push off of the wall. So this simulates like you're throwing a kick, right? So if my base foot here is pointed way this way, I can't really throw a kick at somebody like that. My energy is going one way and my foot's going the other way. Generally speaking, I kind of want my foot like pointed around the 45-degree angle to the wall. That way I get full flexion of my leg here, and I can really throw my leg forward and throw that kick. And I'm landing kind of like in a lunge or a front stance. So just to check on that kick, I'm just going to put my legs, my toes pointed up to the wall. And the first thing we're going to do is my foot's kind of angled this way, and I'm kind of bending my base leg here, and I'm going to push off and extend this leg straight like this. So what you're really doing is getting a really deep stretch here. And notice how I'm not hunching over like this. I'm really kind of having a neutral spine like this, and I'm really just using the wall, kind of like I'm doing a push-up with my leg on the wall. And you're going to feel this deep stretch here and a little stretch on this side as well. You're going to do that for a few reps. So that's, you can imagine your hip joint is moving front to back or up and down like this. Now what we're going to do is imagine your knee drawing circles. This is probably like level 1, the easiest one. So I could do clockwise circles here while keeping the same position. Another thing too is if my foot was facing this way, you'll feel a very different stretch. So you're gonna feel more like you're doing like splits on the wall when your toes are facing this way. And again, you can't have a lot of push that way. And you'll notice that you're gonna notice like your body's gonna be pushed sideways when you push when your toes are this way. So you want to make sure your base heel is rotated out and your toes are kind of pointing to the 45. And now when I push, I'm really engaging like my quad. There's a lot of pushing there. I'm trying to aim with the ball of my foot here and just pushing off like that. If you had a flush wall, you could just have your foot and your heel flush to the wall too and push off like that. Anyway, so we're gonna go and do circles clockwise with the knee here. And look, I'm spiraling my knee clockwise, and in doing so, my base hip is actually getting like the flossing here, right? So you're actually hitting all the different angles that the hip can articulate. Now you can do it counterclockwise here. And then what's going to happen is, to make it even harder, or to make it even more mindful in that sense, where you could really feel things, is you're going to draw a figure 8 vertically. So like an infinity sign on its side, or like the number 8, you're going to draw that going one direction with this knee. And in doing so, if you notice here, my hip is coming in and coming out and spiraling in, spiraling out. And then you could do it the other direction too. So my knee is doing this. And then now, of course, if you rotate that, it becomes an infinity sign. So now you're going this way with your figure 8s here. And of course, you go the other way as well here. And that's going to hit all the possible angles for your hips to articulate in this direction, right? And what's cool about that is when you get off the wall, you can do a lot of things in the sense that you can articulate your kicks. Like if I throw like an outside crescent kick, my hip has to come here and then turn out here. If I throw an inside crescent kick, it has to go like this. It has to come out and turn in. If I throw like a side kick here, my hip is still articulating. So the chain, in a sense, the chain reaction is actually started from this base leg, not from trying to do this stuff here where this is stable. I'm actually starting like away from this base leg here. And that articulation, that flossing you just did on the wall, it's going to help you kind of feel where your weight needs to be distributed, how much pressure in what part of your foot to put that weight as well, right? If I go outside in here, the pressure has to like transfer to the ball of my foot. It has to go this way, and then it transfers to the heel a little bit. But notice how there's tons of articulation that's happening right here.